Lana rushed to gather dog snacks and water, abandoning her tasks as she prepared for what she knew would be a challenging situation. Upon arrival, the reality was even more distressing than she had anticipated. The dog, visibly in pain, lay amidst a pool of blood, his injured leg a grim testament to the ordeal he had endured. The dog's soft moans met Lana's gaze, conveying the agony he had endured for hours. She struggled to comprehend the full extent of his injuries until she spotted a nearby trap stained with blood. It became clear that the dog had been caught in the trap, managing to free himself but not without severe consequences. His leg, mangled and likely broken, bore witness to his desperate struggle for freedom, leaving him both physically and emotionally drained. Approaching cautiously, Lana noted the dog's considerable size but was reassured by his gentle eyes, which showed no sign of aggression. After offering nourishment and water, Lana embraced the canine's plight. Though urgency dictated a visit to the vet, Lana faced the daunting task of transporting the large, injured dog alone. Remarkably, the weakened dog sensed Lana's intent and cooperated, using his hind legs to hobble alongside her to the car. Inside the vehicle, Lana ensured his comfort and swiftly drove to the vet clinic. The veterinarian, assessing the dire situation, recognized the dog's critical condition. Severe blood loss and signs of shock underscored the urgency of the moment. A life-saving blood transfusion was identified as the essential measure needed to give the dog a chance at survival. An urgent plea for a blood donor went out, and Tavier's owner graciously offered his dog's blood. Following the transfusion, the dog, now named Zanger, faced a critical phase of recuperation. The medical team worked diligently to treat his injured leg, removing damaged tissue and setting it for optimal healing. Despite their efforts to manage his pain and discomfort, Zanger struggled, showing signs of improvement with medication as he consumed small amounts of food and water. However, Zanger's condition deteriorated the following day, his rising temperature and weakening state indicating a pivotal moment. Faced with the grim reality, Lana and the veterinary team were left with a heartbreaking decision. The only chance to save Zanger's life was to amputate his leg. Though a difficult choice, it was necessary given the severity of his infection and the impending threat to his life. Adapting to life after amputation posed significant challenges for Zanger. While some dogs overcome such obstacles, Zanger's recovery promised to be lengthy and arduous. The pain and trauma from surgery, coupled with the prescribed medications, left him weak and seemingly indifferent to Lana's daily visits. Yet, Lana remained steadfast in her commitment to Zanger's recovery, visiting him regularly despite the toll of his treatment. She hoped that with time and care, Zanger would regain his strength and spirit, overcoming the odds stacked against him in his journey toward healing and a new lease on life. After a week, Zanger remained listless, refusing the treats Lana offered with increasing concern. Perplexed by his persistent sickness, Lana turned to the vet for answers, only to learn that his ongoing frailty likely stemmed from deep depression. Zanger's body, still reeling from the trauma he endured, bore not just physical wounds, but also the weight of profound emotional turmoil exacerbated by the solitude he faced despite Lana's daily visits. Faced with such a grim prognosis, Zanger's chances of survival seemed uncertain. His will to fight dwindled, and even the most potent medications struggled to revive his spirit. Undeterred by the bleak outlook, Lana clung to hope and doubled down on her efforts. She dedicated extensive time to Zanger, transforming his veterinary environment into a sanctuary of sorts. Lana provided constant companionship, sitting with him, gently scratching behind his ears, and showering him with love and attention. They recreated outdoor excursions reminiscent of their first meeting, with Lana lifting him carefully and ensuring he felt safe and cared for. This combination of affection and dedicated care began to yield small but promising improvements. Zanger's infection slowly receded, and a glimmer of optimism for a full recovery emerged. As Zanger's condition stabilized, the decision was made to transition him from the veterinary clinic to a local shelter. Despite Lana's exhaustive efforts to find him a loving family, the shelter became his temporary home. A cozy enclosure awaited him there, providing safety and room to move, while Lana continued to advocate for him, hoping that someone with a big heart would soon offer him a forever home. A palpable sense of sadness hung in the air as Lana accompanied Zanger to the shelter, gently settling him into his new space before enveloping him in a heartfelt hug. The impending separation weighed heavily on Lana's emotions as she reluctantly turned to leave. Zanger, however, emitted soft, plaintive whines, a poignant expression of his reluctance to see Lana depart. Each attempt Lana made to console him was met with renewed cries as he struggled to comprehend why his cherished human had to leave him behind in this unfamiliar place. Tears welled in Lana's eyes as she struggled with her decision. Despite already having 2 large dogs at home, Lana found herself torn. Zanger's palpable distress at the shelter became the catalyst that ultimately overturned her internal debates. She was resolved to bring him home. Mindful of his ongoing pain, noticeable limp, and fresh wounds, Lana approached their reintroduction cautiously. Placing Zanger in a crate at home, Lana anxiously awaited his response to her existing canine companions, hoping for a harmonious integration that would alleviate his loneliness. Instead, what unfolded was far from the seamless reunion Lana had envisioned. From the moment he encountered her other dogs, Zanger exhibited a deep-seated aversion. Growls and frenzied barking erupted as if he sought to obliterate their very existence, casting doubt on the prospect of peaceful coexistence. Sensing the volatile atmosphere, Lana maintained a careful distance, preventing direct confrontation. Even confined within the safety of his crate, Zanger projected an aura of hostility, a clear indication of his earnest desire to neutralize what he perceived as a threat. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Lana isolated Zanger from her other dogs, taking him outside to diffuse the tension. Yet, the disheartening scene continued as Zanger, removed from potential conflict, revealed an animosity that overshadowed any hope of integration. Lana's heart ached as she witnessed this discord, raising serious doubts about whether Zanger could ever find a place within her existing canine family. The looming decision of whether Zanger would return to the shelter hung heavy, fraught with complexity, especially given his ongoing recovery and vulnerability to illness during this delicate phase. However, nearly a year had passed since that pivotal day, and Zanger's journey had unfolded in ways that defied all expectations. The once timid and sorrowful canine discovered by the roadside had undergone a remarkable metamorphosis. Today, Zanger exuded a majestic confidence that starkly contrasted with the initial image of fear and sadness. Most astonishing of all was Zanger's complete physical recovery. The wounds that once bore witness to his ordeal had healed, leaving no visible trace of past anguish. Despite the loss of one or more limbs, Zanger moved gracefully and confidently, a testament to his resilience and the care he had received. Zanger's journey post-recovery had been nothing short of remarkable. He had escaped the specter of additional infections and thrived in his current state. Even the remnants of previous scars had gracefully faded away. Yet, the question lingered. Where would Zanger now call home? The answer resonated with heartwarming clarity. He had found his place with his cherished human, Lana. Integrating Zanger into Lana's existing canine family had required considerable time and patience. The initial discord that marked his interactions with the other dogs gradually gave way to a harmonious coexistence. While Zanger still preferred human company over his canine counterparts, a delicate balance had been struck. All the dogs had learned to share their space peacefully through Lana's patience and persistence. Zanger, once hesitant to embrace the company of his fellow canines, had now mastered the art of coexisting and engaging in playful interactions with them. This transformative journey had been the result of collaborative efforts between compassionate veterinarians and Lana's unwavering love. Together, they had dispelled the initial shroud of sadness that had enveloped Sanger. The once trembling and forlorn dog now stood as a testament to the healing power of care and compassion, a living example of how love and dedication could transform even the most challenging beginnings into stories of hope and resilience.